I got the Next in September, took it out of the box, and started programming. And I said new project, and it asked me for the name of the project, and I said World Wide Web. I got that more or less running with the first web server, and ran the web server actually on my desk on the same machine as the web client. In fact, the first release of the software I did date, I guess it was 1991 to 25. It was Christmas Day. Christmas Day was actually very important for us at that point because my wife and I were expecting our first child on the 24th of December. So when people ask about the details of that, everything I remember was about that event rather than about the World Wide Web. The World Wide Web program I got doing quickly to get it out of the way before the this magic time occurred. People ask, well, what was the moment when you really realized it was going to take off? And I show them the graph and say, well, when would you say it was, it was a slow bang. It was a big bang, but it was happening over 3 years. It got to that point that the World Wide Web was a word that appeared in at first The Economist, I think, was the first to mention it, and then the press, and eventually the tabloid press. And then even the chief executives of quite a lot of large companies got to hear about it. So in about 1993, I had to change from pushing to steering. Industry people came to me and said, we're basing our whole new corporate strategy around the web. We understand that you've got the specifications about how it works on a disk on your machine somewhere in your office. It's very important to avoid short-term corporate greed in trying to get a short-term return on investment by thinking that you can make a proprietary market that you can keep all to yourself. Because in fact what you'll do is you may block the creation of a huge market, which though you won't own it all yourself, you will be a much bigger player than you ever would have been in your proprietary market. Nobody would want to go and invest in it. There was a system just like the World Wide Web called Gopher. The Gopher system was developed by two guys at the University of Minnesota. And it had a much more dramatic rise on the internet than the World Wide Web. In fact, everybody was very excited about it. And at a certain point, the University of Minnesota said, oh, we may have to charge, not if you're a university, not if you're non-commercial, not if you're using the client, only if you're a commercial company using a server. Possibly, not definitely, maybe, we may charge a very small fee. Finito. It was over. Nobody worked on Gopher. If you are going to have a big open infrastructure that everybody is going to use, if it's going to be the common point of connection, it has to be royalty-free. So as we go into the future, I think that what's coming is going to be some very, very powerful applications. Things that maybe will be so fast that they will have a destabilizing effect. And it's going to be an art and a science to connect these things together. In fact, we're calling that web science. Figuring out how, as you invent these new systems, it really affects the world and the world affects it. It's going to be really, really exciting.